Do you like my dishes in the background? I'm not going to do them tonight because I don't want to. Hi, welcome back to my channel. This video has taken me literally weeks to make because at one point I made it, uploaded it, I thought it was finished, and then realized that all of my work had been erased. So then I had to start from scratch, and long story short, this video is super important to me, and what I talk about in this video has seriously changed my life. It will bring value to your life if you decide to do what I'm going to talk about. I am really excited about sharing this with the world, and I hope it impacts your life for the better. So let's get into it. In this video, I'm going to be diving into one thing that has completely changed our weekly rhythm and really sets us up for success. I wish I could say that I am the queen of resting, but to be honest with you, I suck at it. If multitasking was a profession, I would make so much money. Why is it that I tie worth into how busy and nonstop my schedule is? Why is it something that people feel proud of when they're just too busy to chill? And why do I put so much pressure on myself to be constantly productive? I know what you're thinking. I'm humbly bragging about the fact that I stay busy and like being productive, but the truth is, sometimes it feels like more of a curse than a blessing. Actually, most of the time it feels like more than a curse than a blessing. This constant hurrying state of mind has me missing out on moments that are sacred, and most importantly, that I will never get back. Resting and being is such a vital part of our mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health. But in a world with iPhones, we're not bored longer than about 3 seconds, completely cutting ourselves off from any entryway into processing emotions of our day, connecting with God, and staying in moments that rejuvenate us and revive us to keep moving forward. Instead, we go to bed feeling stuck and we feel like the day has escaped us. I argue that the reason is because our sense of busyness, it keeps us jumping from one moment to the next in a perpetual state of distraction and detachment from what is happening around us and inside of ourselves. Sitting with my son instead of rushing off to do the next thing around the house, subconsciously being more interested in watching videos on my phone than looking into my baby's eyes and praying over him. So, how do we find rest amongst the chaos, distraction, and burnout of everyday life? We have found a rhythm for us that has been extremely helpful. God literally gave us a framework for how to rest. Genesis 2:3 says, "Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating what he had done." Leviticus 23:3, "There are 6 days when you may work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath rest, a day of sacred assembly. You are not to do any work wherever you live. It is a Sabbath to the Lord." Hebrews 4:9 through 10. There remains then a Sabbath rest for the people of God. For anyone who enters God's rest also rests from their works, just as God did from his. So I've said a lot of scripture. So what does this mean exactly? For us, currently, Sabbath means that for one 24-hour period every week, Friday night to Saturday night, we do nothing that doesn't feel restful. This means the smallest things like dishes, chores, sweeping, errands, getting gas, anything that equals doing work or checking off a to-do list is completely stopped for 24 hours. We also understand the distraction that's on our phones, so we don't get on social media, respond to texts, or do the one quick thing that will only take a second. And I know, especially my moms, understand what I mean. Anything we need to do, we add it to a list to pick up after Sabbath. Any little things that pop into my head to do, I just jot them down. Sabbath prep is also a part of our routine. I thrive and rest in a clean environment. So we spend extra time doing chores to make sure the house is clean for Sabbath. Laundry is all done, folded, put away, carpets vacuumed, food is prepped, etc. For me, Sabbath also means that I indulge. I'm very strict throughout the week with my eating and drinking in a healthy way, but when Friday rolls around, I get to eat or drink whatever I want. For us, this is usually homemade pizza, craft cocktails, and some kind of homemade dessert because I'm a sweets person. This is a huge motivator for me to be good throughout the week.
with eating and drinking because I know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel coming very soon. It helps me to achieve my goals for eating and working out without binging or getting burnt out. If you don't believe me, here's what happened this past month. We get the time to connect with our child, connect to each other, and talk about things that the distraction of everyday life kept us from fully diving into. Sometimes it's really hard conversations that needed to be talked about, distraction free, and other times it's dreaming about our future, talking about our goals. This is a recent addition to our weekly rhythm, but man, it has changed everything. We wake up on Saturday morning feeling free from any small, tiny responsibilities that normally we would have to get up and go do. We just don't do them, even making the bed sometimes. We decide to do whatever feels fun or restful. For us, this is often something outside in nature. Previous Sabbath, we started our day with coffee by a fire. That was amazing. I have a coloring book that I pull out only on Sabbath, and when my son is asleep, I color. It is extremely therapeutic, and what I love about it is that the only decision I have to make is what color to choose next. Next, we wanted to go out and do something, so we decided to go to this town called Milford, and we visited a farm. We just walked around the grounds, talking, looked at the animals. It sounds super cheesy, I know, but when we got in the car, we just kept saying how restful it was. Next, my husband really wanted to stop somewhere to drink a beer, again outside. So we visited this cool bar slash restaurant in Milford for a quick bite. We drove home, took naps, and the rest of the night was snuggled in PJs watching movies. It was an amazing Sabbath. By the time Sunday morning rolls around, after every Sabbath, I genuinely feel eager and excited to get back into daily life. Things like meal planning, working out, reconnecting to my community. The Sabbath day sets us up for success every single week so that we have the energy and determination to take on what is next. This is a way to secure rest weekly so that my husband and I are not burnt out and just, desperate for a vacation, which are necessary too, by the way. But Sabbath feels like a mini staycation every week. If you're watching this thinking, I need this in my life, just start. You can start small. Here are some ideas that helped us get started. You can just decide to put your phone away. I know this is really hard, but once you do it, I swear you feel free. You feel just a new freedom. You can decide to take a break from anything involving work, your actual work, so no checking emails, no responding to texts, no doing chores around the house. Just let go of all of that for 24 hours. Are you introverted and you need time alone, but you're a parent? Ask your spouse to take the kids out for an hour or so you can rest. My husband did this for me yesterday, and I literally just fell asleep as soon as he walked out the door. It was amazing. If you like cocktails like we do, find a fun cocktail recipe and start your Sabbath by making yourself a craft cocktail. Do you rest in a clean environment like me? Spend some extra time during the week doing chores to create your perfect clean environment for Sabbath. As humans, we need rhythm in our lives for rest so that we don't get burnt out. We need rest and stillness to rejuvenate us. We need boundaries in place to set us up for success. God literally gave us the key to rest. So this week, just decide to start Sabbathing. Choose a day to just look around, look at your little one if you have one, and just sit. Don't be doing something else while sitting. I'm guilty of this. Just sit, breathe, feel the wind on your skin, admire your surroundings, appreciate the little things. And the biggest thing is, don't regret not being more present. Set yourself up for success to be more present. Your future self, your soul, your spirit, and your to-do list will thank you. Listen, I know what you're thinking. We've got soccer practice, things that we're a part of. There's always going to be reasons to psych yourself out from taking a break. There's always going to be this sense of hurry and restlessness that if I don't do this one thing, then everything is going to fall apart. And to be honest with you, I resonate with that. But taking a break makes me realize that, oh my gosh, the world will keep going round if I don't do this one little thing or answer this one email. If you want to do this, if you want to feel rested more on a weekly basis, don't give up hope.